So first we are going to go to github/jrddumbr/electrical-age, and we're going to clone the repository. Click on the link. You can copy it or click the little copy button to the right of the text field. And then if you're on Linux, you're going to need to go to a terminal and use git clone and then the thing you just copied. If you're on Windows, you're going to need to download a Git for Windows application so that you can download the Git repository locally. Alternatively, you can also just download the zip. However, if you want to submit code revisions to the project, you're going to need to download the Git folder. We're going to select the electrical age from the import project menu. Make sure you select Gradle. You can use auto import for this. I like to set the JDK as well to version 1.8 just to make sure things are all good. And then we click finish. I sped this part up a little bit. We just wait while the IDE sets up everything for us initially. Okay, now once it's done this, we need to add a couple of configurations for the run. So in the upper left we have a plus button. We click on Gradle. That will allow us to create a new configuration. We need to choose the correct Gradle project and add the tasks. We will need 3 tasks: set up decomp workspace, build, and run client. I like to name the task the same thing as the actual task name for the Gradle project. That way it's easier to know what you're trying to do. So we're just going to add those real quick. Alright, and now we're going to set up the decomp workspace first. This sets up the workspace for everything to be compiled to work with. Otherwise, it doesn't really work very well. And then we're going to build just for the heck of it. You don't have to build to write source code, but if you want to run the client or create jars, I would recommend running build. Now we're going to run the client. There's a client. Now you'll notice that when we ran build, it created a new folder called build, and inside that there's a folder called libs, and that's where we get our jars from. Now I'm going to change the name of the mod. This is generally a good idea for development because if you change the name, it'll be easier to tell in bug reports which version you're using, because if they're all called electrical age, you're going to have problems because everyone's going to have different line numbers, and it'll make it pretty much impossible to debug. So I like to put my username and then the date. And I also like to set the version number to negative a lot of the time. And we're going to run build. And in a moment we'll look in the build folder and we'll see that it has built, and it will have the new revision number and the new archive name in the build folder. So we have the old jar, and now we have the new jar there, which has the date of today and my username, and that'll make it easier when you're trying to debug. And that's just about it.